Hi, my name is Oxy, and before I say anything else, I would just like to thank you for making time down here today to celebrate my birthday. And that guy just judged me so badly. But anyway, chances are is that if you're here today, it really means that it means something to me in my life. So yeah, thank you for being here, and please sit back and enjoy. So, I was born on the 14th of January 1997, where I emerged from the deep dark cave of my mother's womb. And I started crying when I emerged, but that's a good sign because it shows that I'm healthy. But what surprised the doctors and nurses and my parents wasn't so much of my crying, but how I had much hair. Here are some pictures of my Harry Potter days. Now, I shall insert a few of my cute baby pics so that you can fuss over me. Okay. So, fast forward to my kindergarten days. I attended this kindergarten called Evangel Kindergarten. Back then, I would often join this clique during my lunch break. We would play Scooby-Doo. It was a role-play version. But unfortunately, because I joined the clique late, I was only given the leftover roles to play.
Daphne. She's gonna be Velma. You can choose to be Shaggy or Scooby-Doo.
This was my life back then. I was only given the role of a dog or a man, but I just accepted it, and usually I'll just take the dog. So yeah. Also, because it was a Christian kindergarten, there were often worship sessions in the morning, and I would remember staring at my form teacher as she sang, "My God is so good, so strong and so mighty, like na 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 na." Yeah, that. And I think that really formed my first impression of God, because yeah, you know, you play first impressions. Yeah, I always thought that God was just this good, kind-hearted man in the sky. Also, another interesting thing that happened in kindergarten was that I was actually a player.
Snoop Dogg.
So I fell in love with two guys. One was called Joseph, the other was called Arthur. So what I did was, at the end of graduation, I actually wrote a note to both of them. I thought it as a love letter. Although I didn't explicitly confess because I was a scared little human being. But I remember signing off with Love, Oxy. Okay, so actually it's Love Sing because I wasn't called Oxy then. But anyways, I really lived up the name of being a player, because even after that, right, I didn't even follow up. So I think I actually didn't really love them. So I was truly living up to my reputation of being a player. Due to the influence of one of my close friends in kindergarten, her name is Siobhan, I eventually got enrolled into St. Margaret's Primary School because she was attending that school as well. Back then, I would get free car rides. You know, because the saying goes, 人见人爱, 车见车载. I was cute, so her parents decided to send me to school. During those car rides, I would remember falling asleep during the car rides, but sometimes also being awake and listening to the music that was playing on her dad's music player. I would often hear Christian songs, Christian music, because her dad was a Christian. And I still remember thinking back then about who this God was. Kind of whetted my interest, you know, just like how it's wet. Yeah. Then primary school started. Primary school was fun. I used to collect a lot of 10-cent erasers, only to chop them up into small pieces. Also, I would splurge on notebooks with password. You know those $4 to $5 kind with the password at the side. Yeah, many of them, but I never really wrote on them. I was quite a weird kid, right? But nothing could beat this one friend I had. Her name was Jessica Quack. She collected snails and let those snails crawl on her hand. I was seriously damn creeped out by her, and yeah, but that wasn't the main point. The main point was that in primary school, eventually Siobhan, she migrated overseas while I moved to Bishan, and that was also when the free car ride stop. No! But the old has gone and the new has come. I moved to Bishan thereafter and also made new friends like Sarah So. Shout out to Sarah So. However, transport was now an issue, so my parents decided to sign me up for school bus services. Too small. To my horror, because of this, I had to wake up super early in the morning at 6 a.m. My mum would go down to wait for the bus with me. However, to my horror, this started to actually catch the attention of a few P6s. They started to call me names and make snide remarks like to call me mummy's girl. Things got a bit worse as well because they started to mimic my mum and sometimes even scold me for delaying the bus time because they felt like it took extra time for my mum to send me up the bus. At that time, I told my mum about what was happening and she went ahead to tell my form teacher. My form teacher had good intentions but sadly wasn't very wise. What my form teacher did was that she went up to the bus and started to scold all the P6s. And from there, things just got worse. It was then when someone actually called me the first ever F word, and also when the bullying got even more intensified. I lied to my parents and my form teacher by saying that everything was fine, but actually it wasn't resolved back then. Also, because I was quite responsible, I was given leadership opportunities like vice class monitor or prefectorial duties and even CCA leader. But at that time, I think because of this, I used to become more proud. So I think that translated into the way I interacted with my brother. I really used to think that I was way smarter than my brother, and I remember how I would teach my brother in primary school and like just look down on him. So for example, like when I was in primary 5 and my brother was in primary 3, I remember being super impatient with him whenever I taught him, and I would sometimes even take the cane to like scare him or to even hit him sometimes because I wanted to like exert my authority which I thought I had over him, and I kind of enjoyed it as well lah. But the worst things that I did to him was actually when I tried to sow discords between him and my brother. I mean my dad and my brother. Because since young my dad always showed favoritism to me as I was the less problematic kid in school, and since I was smarter than my brother, I knew that my dad favored me. And because of this, whenever my brother and myself fought over something petty, I would use this advantage to get my way. So for example, if we fought over something really small like playing computer for example, I would engage in a physical fight with my brother sometimes, and I would then go and rat on him, and my dad would become very angry and come and hit my brother. I still remember how my brother would find it very unfair then, and I could see like the resentment that was in his eyes. And although I knew that what I was doing was wrong, but I think I didn't really care then because all I cared about was just getting my way in everything. And I kind of used my dad to get my way. So later then on, this continued for a few years and I eventually went to sit for PSLE. After PSLE, my best friend invited me to church, Living Waters Methodist Church. Back then, I really didn't know what I was doing, and the only reason that kept me going back week after week was number 1, because after service I got to hang out with her, and number 2, because there was a boy that I liked back then. So this went on for 2 years, and yeah. Then came secondary school. I joined this decently popular clique, this group of girls. They used to like K-pop male bands, and to be honest, I didn't really like them. But because I wanted to be included, I just pretended to like them. And also they were quite well off, so they would often go to expensive restaurants to eat. Honestly, I didn't really have that kind of pocket money to support that kind of lifestyle, but I really didn't want to be excluded, so I just went ahead with it. To be honest, at that time, I think I didn't really enjoy the friendship, but what I enjoyed was more of the security that I was in a clique. So I continued to stay on in the friendship, and yeah, but deep down, I didn't really enjoy them as friends. I always felt like I had to pretend to be someone else. But came Sec 2 when streaming happened, and because I did academically better than my friends, we were split up. I went to a better class than them, but I wasn't happy because eventually I felt as though I was becoming increasingly excluded from them, and sometimes I really questioned whether my presence mattered in that friendship or not. I remember in those times crying myself to sleep at night, and even, for example, reading over their texts and really questioning like where I stood. I know it might sound stupid because it's such a 小妹妹 problem, but I think at that point of time when friendships was all I had, it really hurt me knowing that actually I can be so easily forgotten, and actually I wasn't always everyone's first choice. But I think at that time I decided to take on a new approach when Sec 4 came, my O-level year came. I decided that I didn't want to focus on friendship anymore because after all I was quite a failure. I decided to put my all in my studies, and I really studied very hard and eventually just left that group of friends. So yeah, in Sec 4 I really started to get very competitive. My dad, right, he signed me up for tuition for all subjects except for Chinese, and I was totally ready to kill it, man. Like for E-math and A-math at that point of time, I remember like getting like higher score in class being like a very common thing for me. And I also grew to be very competitive. And at the same time, I also remember making friends with this girl. Her name was called Valerie, and she was in the same pure lit class as myself. But at that point, I knew that she was weaker in her studies as compared to me. So I expected her to be doing worse than me in O-levels. I seriously had that thought, okay, I was so competitive. After O-levels, our results were released, and Belle actually did very well. She entered Hwa Chong with 2 points. Raw. No, not raw. Ah, crap. So when I asked her how, she actually told me this thing. She said it was God who managed to carry her through by His grace. And because of that, she asked me to come to this church at that time. And at that time, although I didn't really believe in God because He just felt like a distant man in the sky, but I wanted to go, and I told myself that even if Christianity was just something false, I wanted to be brainwashed by it, and I wanted to come anyway because as long as it could help me to achieve my goal of doing well in my studies, I was willing to be brainwashed. But during Christmas in 2013, when Belle invited me, I genuinely felt touched by God. I remember sobbing during the Christmas service and being so willing to just raise my hand back then. And that was actually when I actually genuinely first ever accepted Christ. I cannot! Okay. Hey. So as a new believer, I was a very childlike one. I remember how I would flip open the Bible and legit point to any spot to see what God had in store for me every day. I also remember how I used to cry to almost every single worship song because every single line seemed to speak to me. But yeah, even as my relationship with God started, so did my JC life start. When I first came to JC, I joined this class which I would say is one of the most awesome bunch of people I've ever met. I grew increasingly closer to this kid called CJ, who is here today as well. And yeah, here are just some videos and pictures of the kind of shenanigans we used to do. I also ran for this thing called council, which kept me pretty busy. Not only did I have schoolwork, friends to catch up with, but now council on top of that. It was also then when I really started to feel the stretch from life group and service as well. And when I found out that I had to do this thing called quiet time daily, like I really had no interest in it because the Bible just seemed too boring for me, and yeah, I really didn't have much time. But I had awesome leaders like Nisha and Ollie who would offer a Skype with me to do quiet time. But of course there were also times where I would doze off, which is quite embarrassing over Skype. But yeah, that was back then. However, just when I thought that becoming a Christian would mean my results would improve, or at least a smooth sailing journey in this thing called life, I was proven wrong. So looking back now, I can actually see how it was God orchestrating whatever that happened back then. But I think when I was in the situation itself, I didn't understand. And so basically what happened was that things at home started to get really bad. Because I was very busy in school, I started to get increasingly disconnected from things that were going on at home. I think apart from the circumstantial factors, it was also my own personal decision to be disconnected because there were a lot of fights back then at home. My dad, he lost his job at that time, and because of that, he was always in a very bad mood. And for my brother as well, he started to get addicted to LAN gaming, and he got into a lot of trouble in school. His teachers would often call back to complain, and this triggered my dad even more. So sometimes, like, I'm not even like exaggerating when I say that the fights would happen every single day. And yeah. However, God, he still blessed me at that time. He gave me this group of really good friends who are here today as well. CJ, shout out to them again. They were really what made school bearable for me, and they motivated me to still come back to school every single day. And although back then I think they couldn't tell of what I was going through at home because I always would just mask it up with like my crazy self. And yeah, but yeah, just thank you guys for being my emotional support back then and making me feel a bit better with all your infectious nonsense. I think at that point of time, it was also when I met this guy in student council. I was a house captain for orientation, and he was as well, and that was the platform which enabled us to meet almost every single day for planning and stuff. So we started to grow increasingly closer, and I started to become more emotionally attached to him. We would hang out, and I would share whatever was happening at home. And I guess for the 8 months we were together, we got together in the end, he did temporarily make me feel better. But the pain didn't go away just because I had good support systems in my life. I think deep inside there was still a part of me that felt very broken, inadequate, and very ugly. And I think deep inside my heart I still knew that no matter how many friends I had, or no matter how much time I spent with my boyfriend, it wouldn't solve these hurts and it wouldn't solve my problems. Moreover, I think over time I realized that relationships we see on TV and on YouTube are really the romanticized form. Yeah, it isn't as rosy as it seems. There were certain things that my boyfriend said about my brother back then which really hurt me, and also when I hinted to want to take a break, like he would use this guilt trip approach to make me to make me not to make me give in up. And this was also the point when things started to turn around, because still remember there was this one time I ran to my life group friend's house. Her name is Ichen, and she's here today as well. I went to her house because that day I just had a major fight with my brother, so I travelled all the way from Bishan to Boon Lay, and I was sobbing. I was at her void deck and I was just crying. And I think it was then when I decided to pour everything out to Ichen. The inadequacy of my studies, the scars from whatever I faced at home, and the relationship problems I'm having. And I still remember that fateful day, like Ichen, she pointed me back to God. Yeah, she did something as simple as point me back to God. And yeah, it was that night also where I made this decision to break up with my boyfriend and to stop running away from God, but to take on whatever problems head on.